Today's guest is Lexi Ruffell, from former professional ballroom dancer to a marketing expert and consultant. Lexi is the founder of Marketing Choreography, a company focused on helping entrepreneurs overcome the overwhelm of the online marketing space. Just like dance, she helps entrepreneurs learn the steps necessary to choreograph their marketing plans. Through her planning and organizational skills, she guides entrepreneurs to find clarity and create a big picture for their marketing. That allows them to hone into the details on a profound level. Lexi also runs a successful podcast and Facebook group called Funnel After Party. I can't wait to share her story with you. Let's cue the intro and jump right in. I've spent the last 20 years studying, teaching, and coaching people to find their greatness and take their lives to the next level. Along the way, it's become evident that emotions are at the root of everybody's successes and failures. Worry and fear are the enemies, and it's time to forge the armor and earn the tools to overcome the two things that could single-handedly destroy your future. Hi, my name is Michael Johnson, and I'm a life coach, a peak performance trainer, and I'm the emotions guy. It's time to take back control of how you feel, control of how you act, and control of how you experience life. It's time to become a lifer, a new breed of overachiever focused on living every minute to its fullest. We are responsible for how we feel, and no one and no thing can make us feel anything. Emotional mastery is our journey, and emotional education and intelligence is the key. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life. What's up, lifers? Michael Johnson here with the Magic for Life podcast. And today, as you can see, we have a very special guest, Miss Lexi Ruffell. And I appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And as you heard in the intro, Lexi is a marketing and sales expert. And amongst many other things, she runs operations for Magic for Life. And she also runs Marketing Choreography. And so we're really privileged and excited to have you here today. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
We are excited because we wanted to be able to share with you some of what Lexi does in the background and let you hear a little bit of her journey and her story about how she got to this place where she is doing so many cool things. And so I figured what a great opportunity to have her on the show and introduce you to Lexi. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
I as usual, I want to start with the typical, which is tell us about your backstory and how you got to this point where you're doing marketing choreography.
Alrighty. It's always like, okay, where to start in this story? I guess we'll go back to the beginning. That's what you always say. Say, go back to the beginning.
Go back to the beginning. I was born in.
So back to the very beginning. Should we look here? Should we look here?
I think you should look there.
Okay, good.
I'm going to look at you. Maybe I'll look there too.
Okay, cool. So back to the beginning, I have grown up a dancer. So that's like the backstory. I've been a dancer my whole life. I started as a jazz dancer. My mom owned a dance studio. My grandma still owns a dance studio. And so I've just grown up in the dance world. And I call myself a studio rat because I'm always in the studio. Even right now, this is a dance studio. Like that's where I have to be. And so I grew up dancing, and then I found ballroom along the way and started into the ballroom industry and ballroom world, and Michael was my coach. So that's kind of cool. When starting in junior high, I started coaching with Michael. So that's kind of a little background to how we met, because it was actually through dance. So that's
we go way back.
We go way back. And then I went on to dance professionally and dance professionally on the circuit, and I still teach a little bit. And now I run a marketing company. About 4 years ago, we found the world of ClickFunnels and started down that marketing journey and started marketing for learning how to market for Magic for Life and for that side of things. And so I've been involved with that. And then, we turned it into, hey, we should do marketing as well, because we've really learned a lot about it and we love it. And so I started marketing choreography, and so that I'm the face for that, and Michael's the face for Magic for Life. But we partner together in both of those things because you really need both. You need marketing and you need the mindset to make it in this world of being an entrepreneur. And so I guess that's the quick story. You can go deeper in whichever piece you would like, but that's the quick story of my journey.
Well, why marketing choreography? Why did you name it that?
So that comes from the dance side of things. I just looked at it and was like, well, there's choreography in dance, and you always have to work on the choreography to make it better and get different perspectives on it and learn how to make it look better for people and place better at competitions. And so it's just always a work in progress to make the choreography better. And so then I looked at it and was like, okay, marketing, dance, let's combine it. And so marketing choreography was born because marketing really is an art. It's an art to make it work and make all the pieces come together. Just like a piece of choreography and dance is, it's beautiful when you can get it to work well and all of the pieces are working together. It's really beautiful, and that's how marketing is as well. And so that's kind of the background.
It's interesting because we see in dance all the time that there's lots of really great dancers,
right,
that have the ability to do all of the figures or
right,
combinations, and yet those really great dancers still find their way to a choreographer, and they still find their way to somebody that can actually put together something in a unique composition,
right,
to form their art, and then they go and they master executing that. And so I feel like as I've watched you be able to do marketing for a lot of business owners and for Magic for Life, I watch you do that. They come to you with skills and the skill sets that they have. Sometimes they have to learn new skills,
right,
or new steps, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And then it seems as though you do a great job of being able to choreograph what they've got going. What do you think it is that gives you the ability to do that choreography with what they have?
I think it's being on the outside of it and getting to come in and go, okay, here's all the pieces that you have. Here's everything that you have going on. And now we just need to clarify it. Now we need to just put it together in a way that makes sense, and make sure that all the pieces are there as well, because sometimes you're missing different things. And so, some people are really good at making noise, are really, really fabulous at making noise, but they don't really have a great value ladder for what they're doing. Or maybe all the products are built, but they have never made noise around it. And so I think it's just like that outside perspective of being able to come in and just provide that clarity for people. And it just doesn't really matter what level you're at. I think it's great to have somebody come in and go, all right, here's everything, like they say, here's everything that I have. And then I'm able to go, all right, let's put it together in this way based on the map that I have and the things that I've learned about marketing and the missing pieces that I've seen us have over the years. It's definitely from experience of going, man, we missed this piece on this launch, and we missed this piece on this launch. But when we combined these two pieces, it was something that was really, really cool. Or when we combined all of these pieces, it was cool. And so it's amazing to look at somebody's thing that they built and go, you're just missing this piece. We just need to put this in the mix of it. And we just need to choreograph this and choreograph this launch, or we just need to build out this product because you have all this stuff going on. So yeah, I think that's
one of our favorite things to do is our day-long intensives.
Yeah.
And obviously not everybody can get in to do that with us.
Yeah.
But we ran one this weekend. And what was it that you saw by the end of that day, working with that client? What was it that you saw that was sort of the most impactful to you after going through a whole day where we really got to go in and choreograph their marketing?
Just his ability to walk out of that situation and have the clarity of what to do next. And, you know, he told us that at the end. He's like, I just have so much clarity on what to do. And I think it's because we were able to dig into every piece of what he's done and everything that he wants to do in the future. And so we were able to create that vision of what he wants to do in that big picture. And then we were able to bring it back down and go, all right, here's the steps, the first steps to make that happen. Because you can't try to attack it all at once. And, you know, when I first got him on board to do this day-long intensive, he told me, like, I have all these ideas and I have this big vision of what I want to do, but I'm just so overwhelmed with it and I don't know what to do next. And so I think that's a cool piece of what comes out of that intensive. It's just the insane amount of clarity that can come from spending that day and having somebody look at it from the outside perspective and go, here's what you have. Now let's start to build this, and having that accountability. And so
it was pretty neat to watch the transformation. We obviously don't do that with everybody. Right. So it takes, you know, they have to apply to get in, but the people that we've worked with that are maybe a little bit more over time.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like they come in and they think they're going to go a direction.
Yeah.
And their mind, their blinders are so on that they think they're going to go a way. But after you run them through your system, they oftentimes come back and they find themselves actually doing what they really love, but they didn't know it ahead of time. You know, they start off going after one thing, but then ultimately they end up focusing on this other thing that really is where their heart is. How do you think that you get them to that place?
I think it's by letting them guide me to that place. Like, I'm not going to ever tell them what to do, but we just go through the process and let them work through the things that they need to work through. And we build a plan and they go after that plan. And it's a very clear plan. And with them having that clear path, they either decide that's exactly what they want to do or it's not what they want to do. And so I think that's a way that it happens as well. Just by having the clear direction of, okay, I'm going this way. Now I know this is where I want to keep going, or I need to go a different direction because it's not exactly what I want to do. And I think with, you know, the people that we take over time, sometimes that process is a little bit longer just because we're meeting week by week. But when you get into that intensive, we can do that in a day. And so that's really cool. Like,
happens pretty quick, right?
Yeah,
There's a huge transformation.
Yeah, it's just faster, just a faster process.
Well, the cool thing I recognized as we've done that is that there's this sort of element that we teach them how to fish, so to speak.
Yeah.
Where they come in and they get to actually learn about how to catch the fish.
Yeah.
Not just us sitting there giving it all to them, handing it over. And then I don't know, we've seen that so many times, you know, and it's happened to us, I think, as well, where we have been handed the thing and now all of a sudden we're like, woo, we have this thing. And now we're like, what do we do with it?
Right.
And so there's this very organic catching the fish sort of approach that you take.
Yeah.
And that allows people to be able to take their idea, shape it into what it probably really is behind the scenes that they don't know or have clarity about, and or at least understand the how-to of it all. Right? Like, not just have the thing, but have the thing and know what to do with the thing. So tell me about a little bit about your most embarrassing experience when you were on the floor competing. I know that sounds funny, but I'm going somewhere with it. So just bear with me.
I mean, my skirt fell down once.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, when I was doing syllabus, you wear the black and white, so I was a little younger, and I was doing
it's not a real costume. It's
it's just like a black skirt.
Everybody
and you
has
have
to
a
wear
white
the same thing. Right?
Yeah, and my skirt fell down, so that was a little.
Did it get caught in your shoe or something? Or
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another one. I can't think of right now.
How about as a pro?
As a pro, most embarrassing. I can't think of one right now.
That's pretty good. So
I
you went
know.
through pretty unscathed.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
might come to me
surprising.
later.
And honestly, I kind of knew that answer already, but it was a setup.
Oh,
And
it is a setup.
yeah, it was a setup.
Okay.
I had a feeling you weren't going to be able to give me one from your pro experience, but part of that is because of the planning, and part of it is because you have always been somebody that's like, okay, I've got to get all of my ducks in a row. I've got to make sure that everything's prepared and planned, and I know how it's going to be and how it's going to happen and what it's going to look like. And it seems to me that you've taken that and you've transferred it into your marketing choreography. And that's, I think, what a lot of people are experiencing as they get to work through the process with you.
I guess I have one. This is going to count.
Okay.
This is going to counter it a little bit.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
But it's going, I'm going to bring it. No, I'm going to bring it back.
Okay.
I'm going to bring it back. As a dancer and as a professional dancer, you have to wear tanner. That's a thing. Like you have to put on tanner, on your, just all over, because
there's bright lights.
Yeah, because it's bright lights.
It washes you out of it.
Yeah, so it's a thing that you do. And so I had an open back dress, and my partner's hand marks were on my back because his hands were sweaty, and so it had like taken the tanner off. And so like for me that was super embarrassing, because there I am like walking on the floor, and like half of my back is white and half of it's dark, and but bringing it back, like it's embarrassing, but also I had brought it with me, so I brought the tanner with me, so I was able to fix it. So there is that side of it, like, okay, even if things do go wrong, have a plan to fix it. And so like I always brought it with me, because it's not good to have that happen.
Right.
But
and I think for us, marketing choreography was born out of not necessarily us doing it right the whole way. In fact, it seems as though it didn't always go right. And while we had our successes and that those successes led us to this point, it seems as though there were a lot of things that happened along the way that sort of induced us to getting to this point where it was like, yeah, we can help people with this. And it was because we had the setbacks or the challenges that we dealt with. So what's one that you can share of our setbacks, or something that led us to understanding a piece of our marketing choreography map that you can share with them?
I think the biggest one that comes to mind, and the first one that comes to mind, because we've had some setbacks, and I think every entrepreneur does along the way, but that's what allows us to be where we're at, like you said. But I think the one that comes to mind is we ran a congress, which is a summit. We just called it a congress because it was for the ballroom industry. And we ran this congress, and we had a lot of success with it. We got people on board to promote it, and we got lots of leads coming in the door. We made a lot of sales on the premium pass. So it was just a huge success. There were some things that we didn't anticipate, like the customer service side of it, because we were dealing with the ballroom industry is full of a lot of older people. And so we were dealing with a lot of old people that didn't understand the tech. And so the customer service kind of ate us. So that preparation wasn't great there. But I think the biggest thing that we missed on that is that we gathered all of these leads, and then we didn't do anything with them, and they just kind of sat there. And so that's one thing that we learned along the way, is we should have had a plan for what we were going to do next. And we should have understood, like, hey, this congress and this summit is going to get us a lot of leads, and that's the intention of the summit, is to get a ton of people in the door, to grow your list, to utilize Dream 100 to get people on board. And then after that, you've got to do something with them. You've got to start getting them into your system and into your program. And we didn't do that at all. And we totally missed that step. And, a lot of those leads are just sitting there right now, and they're not really, the other side of it is it's not really the leads that we were looking to build, but we still ran this Congress, still had a lot of success with it. And so it's just it was a little bit of a mistake there in what we did. And yeah, I think that's probably
but it's interesting because as we did that, we recognized that we didn't have enough of a big picture to really look past what we had created and go, okay, why are we creating that? What are we going to do with it?
Yeah.
And, you know, that wasn't ever intended to be our business or end product that was the core of what we did. And so we didn't really attach it to the core.
Right. And we saw it as the, like, I think we saw it as going towards Magic for Life, and we're like, oh, this is an easy way for us to get leads, and then we can convert them to being our Magic for Life customers. And that's not really how it worked out. Because we've even tried to kind of convert them to being more, you know, towards marketing or towards mindset stuff. And it just didn't really work out because how we attained them was not the correct way for our core of what we wanted to do. And it was easy for us because we had a lot of connections in the dance industry. And so it was just like, all right, let's put this on. Okay, the summit wasn't easy. I shouldn't say that it wasn't easy. That was, summits are hard. Summits are really, really hard.
No.
And I think anybody would say that. But yeah, that's kind of,
it's interesting that some of those things happened.
Yeah.
But in essence, it was some of the roots of how marketing choreography was born and created, because we looked at it and went, gosh, you know, we knew how to run a summit. We learned how to do that, but nobody stopped to tell us, hey, you should know and have planned what you're going to do immediately after and for the next 5-6 months after that. And I think that's the same for many of the launches and many of the funnels that people build, is that they get so caught up in the weeds of the funnel that they don't realize that the funnel is a piece in the overall whole. And there are lots of people that can teach you a specific thing about one part of the map, but it's easier just to not tell you there's a map. But, you know, I kind of look at it like going to Disneyland. If you're going to pack up and drive to Disneyland, because flying is challenging these days, I don't know.
Okay.
But let's say road trip, right?
Road trip.
But you're gonna drive to Disneyland. You know, the thing is that you want to have indicators along the way that you're still heading towards Disneyland and that you didn't take a left turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Now you're heading to Tijuana. You know, and that's not exactly Disneyland.
Yeah.
But having a map is huge. So tell me a little bit about your marketing choreography map. I mean, it's a pretty cool sight to see. It's a pretty ridiculously cool map. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, it's very cool. We created it together. I think that's important for everyone to know. I'm the face of marketing choreography and he's the face of Magic for Life, but you know, we're building both together, and because we see the importance of both. Like I kind of said in the beginning, we see the importance of both, and we see how they come together, and we also have our reasons why they're separate too.
The importance of branding. I mean, you guys know that, and it's important to have a brand. It's important to build a brand, and you know, if you're not clear on the direction that you're going, it makes things a little bit challenging to let people see and understand what's going on. But so I mean, we did it together, but
I needed to have, like, for me, I needed to have my thing that I could be the face of, and I needed to be able to do that. But yeah, we created this map together, and we work together on everything that we're doing.
Right.
Because we both have different skill sets that help people in different ways. But this map was born out of mistakes that we've made, and it was born out of the success that we found in the marketing and
things that work.
And the holes that we found. You know, I'm really good at finding the different holes with different people's things that they have going on, and so it was like, okay, we need to create something that's a little bit more complete. And so we looked at it and went, okay, these are all of the different pieces that people need in order to make a funnel go and make it be successful. And so it was born out of, or it started with planning and seeing the need for people needing to plan out things and to see the big picture of what was going on. And then we started looking at all the different pieces that need to be in that. What are your market resources that you have? You know, your social media, or your do you have a podcast, or what things, like, do you have a Dream 100? Do you already have a list of people to be talking to? Do you need to build that side of it? And then what noise are you creating? What funnel should you actually be creating? Sometimes people don't understand why they're building the funnel that they're building, and they don't understand how to get people to the funnel. And then what is the value ladder that you have?
Well, and before she goes on, if you don't have a funnel,
there's that side of it.
You know, then you should be asking yourself, why don't I have a funnel? Not, oh, I probably don't need that. No, the actual truth of the matter is, in this day and age, in this digital marketing day and age, you need a funnel. And I don't care what business you're in. I don't care what service industry you're in, whether it's a brick and mortar, whether it's not. You need a funnel, and you need to understand how it works into your overall marketing scheme. So it's not a matter of, do you need one or do you not need one? It's a matter of, why don't you have one yet? And it's a big deal, right? So anyway, you were talking about offers.
Like having your value ladder, that's important in understanding, like, okay, if you are trying to sell something that's a $7 product, that's great. You have to have a lot of volume. If you want to make money in your business, then you probably need to have something that's maybe a little bit higher ticket, in order to make money in what you're doing.
Or have a clear map as to why you have that $7 funnel.
And if that's going to be, if you're going to just sell a whole lot of those and that's going to be your business, then great, as long as you understand that's what's happening.
Or if it's just for leads, great, you know, and so it could have its own purpose. And as long as you know what the purpose is and you have a path for it. And that's oftentimes, you see that a lot with a lot of people in the digital marketing space, is you see them do things and you think to yourself, well, why in the world would you do that? That is such a great deal. Why would I not do that? And when you say that to yourself, when you see a product that you want and you say, well, gosh, of course I would buy that. That is a ridiculous deal. That is absolutely no brainer for me. I have to have that. Then they won. They got you to do exactly what they needed to do. And what you might not understand is that you are now in their system to ascend through what they would like you to ascend, so that someday that they might actually make a little bit of money from you, but in a good way, right? In a very honest to goodness, capitalistic way. I'm going to trade you this dollar for something that you want, or for something I want, and you're going to give me something I want, and I see it worth more than the dollar that I have, so we trade. And that's a pretty simple map to do, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I think going on with that map, it's also having the plan after that, and creating the plan for what's going to happen into all of the little details that you need to actually turn that into something.
Which is a big deal. I mean, that part, we see people, entrepreneurs all the time, are struggling with that plan. Not to mention that they're only typically looking at one piece of the overall map, and that's a challenge. And then, of course, the Magic for Life side of it, which is mindset, is huge. I mean, which piece of the map is their struggle? It's probably a struggle because they are falling short somewhere mindset wise. And maybe it's a matter of them learning the skill set of the mindset that they're missing or need to upgrade in order to get through that piece. And so it's sort of why marketing, choreography, and Magic for Life kind of grew together.
Right. They're both necessary.
Well, you certainly have had a lot of experience doing the tech in ClickFunnels. I mean, we have been through in and out of that side of it without a doubt. And in many instances, you can help people with the tech of what they're doing behind the scenes. You never intended to be a tech person, and it isn't really the focus. But tell me why, or tell them why the tech shouldn't be the thing that's holding them up.
Because the strategy is the most important thing. With funnels and with online marketing, tech is a thing, right? You've got to understand how to put the funnel up, and you have to understand how to connect all the pieces in the funnel, and you have to understand how to send emails, and you've got to understand how to run Facebook ads. Like, that's another tech thing, you know, like you've got to understand all of these things that are online. And so, like, as part of marketing choreography and what I'm doing, it's really important to me that I get people to overcome the tech, and to overcome that piece of what's going on. And so it's a great entry point. It's a great entry point for people to come in, because I can go, let me help you with this side of it. Okay, great. We now understand the funnel. We understand how it works. Now you actually have to understand how to get people to it. Right. And so just along the way, I've become very, very good at the tech and understanding the funnels, just because we've launched so many. And
too many
we've launched so many, and we've gone back and forth with ClickFunnels customer support, trying to understand different pieces, and I'm a little OCD about it, and so I've really I've really learned to understand all the details and why something's working or why it's not working, because I have to know, because I had to know for the next thing, and still I had problems along the way. I still had things that didn't work, and that's kind of what led me to really making sure that people understand it. And I've gone through the years of learning it, and so I might as well help people with that. And so, you know, whether it's the tech or it's the strategy that people are struggling with, I can help with both. And if I can get people to get over the tech side of it, because people just get stuck in it. That's all there is to it. Like, people will get stuck in it. I got stuck in it, and that's really the thing. That it was so pointless for me to be stuck in it. I needed to know how to get past it, but I really needed to get to a point where I could focus on getting people to the funnel. And that was the thing that was way more important in the mix. However, you got to get past the tech too, right? Like that is important. If you can't get past it, then you can't talk about the strategy. So the faster I can get people through that phase, the better.
Right. Well, and I think, interestingly enough, it's interesting to watch the different people come into the world of marketing choreography with you. And in so many instances, like we were talking about, we trade, right? We trade something of value. Yeah. They give us $1 and we give them massive value back.
Right.
And in the beginning, they oftentimes think that you're the tech guru, right? That you're the tech person.
Or I'm the one that's building the funnels. I'm like, no, I don't actually love the building side of it.
Yeah.
It's not actually my favorite piece.
But it is a piece that we utilize as a front end strategy.
Yeah.
In order to help our customers find a way to what you can really do for them, which is the strategy side of things. And it really is a beautiful setup, in that the tech stuff is always going to be something that is a challenge. Yeah. And so when you have somebody that you can call on and say, hey, you know, what's this all about? How does this work? How can I get through that?
Yeah.
And get back to strategy and get back to that big picture and making sure that you're on the correct path for your map. Then that's always a great way in. And so for all of you entrepreneurs out there, you got to think about that. And you're in your world of whatever it is of value that you're providing to your customers. You may have this core idea that you're giving them or that you're providing for them, and you may be trying to beat them over the head with that core idea, and they might not be buying in the same way as if you took something that was a little bit earlier on their path and said, hey, how about this? And they might accept that, like tech for you.
Yeah.
And so while we don't see you as the tech person, right? Because tech is something we all had to learn how to do. We just learned it because we like it. We actually enjoy understanding it.
Yeah.
You know, they had these customers find a way to get to you through that. And so it's huge. So for you guys as entrepreneurs, you have to look at that and say, well, how can I create something that can help my customers get to my core product? And so a quick shout out to Dana Derricks. You know, he always says, all roads lead to your core offer.
Yeah.
All roads lead to your core offer. And this is a big deal, right? Because you can create lots of cool things, lots of fun stuff, right? If you know who Russell Brunson is, he creates lots of cool things, and he knows it. And he knows he's creating those cool things, but all of those things lead back to his core offer. And so this is, unfortunately, this is a concept that is new for a lot of people. Yeah. It's this idea of you building stuff that leads back to your core offer, which means that you better have a pretty dang good core offer down so that you can get them back.
Yeah, and people might not be ready for your core offer either. And so that's why it's important to have other things, because they just might not be ready for that main thing that you want to help people with, but you've got to get them in the door. And you have to teach them that that's the thing that they need. People coming into ClickFunnels are going, okay, I got to learn how to build a funnel, right? Like that's the most important thing. And they may not even see that, oh my gosh, like I have to get traffic and I've got to understand how to get people to the funnel. And then I have to understand how to keep making money off of those customers and keep getting them to buy other products. But they're stuck on, I've got to learn how to make this funnel. And so if you can get them in the door and then you can just progress them up, that's the cool thing that can happen.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of things that entrepreneurs can do in their business that are going to be revenue generating. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I see often is that marketing isn't something that is taught in business school in the way that we're talking about it. Yeah. There's two types of marketing: general marketing and digital marketing. Can you tell us about the big difference between general marketing and digital marketing and direct marketing, the way that it exists in today's online presence or online world?
Yeah, general marketing is when it's a little bit more vague, like you're just putting out a ton of ads and putting out something on a billboard, and you're just like hoping to get that person to see you. A lot of the big companies will do a little bit more general marketing, but direct marketing is when you're connecting with your people and you're asking them what they want, and it's a little bit more direct, right? You have their emails and you're talking to them about what they're wanting, and you're building the things that they want. So I think, it's exactly what it says. Like general is you're making it a little bit more general, and direct, or you're going directly after that person. But that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can expand upon that.
No, I mean, it's just important. I think as we speak to entrepreneurs, not everybody has been, educated or even informed about the fact that there might be two different types of marketing, strategies. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite descriptions was about, I think it was like Walmart or something. They put out an ad, and they're starting to change their ways a bit, but they put out an ad and they send it out to billions of people on TV or something. Right. And they have no way to track it. They have no way to know whether that ad did well. They kind of guess through the numbers and guess through what upswings in their sales happen or not. And they guess based off of a general idea of the ad. And then maybe they poll some people to find out whether they liked it or not.
Yeah.
Right. And
direct, you know exactly what happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can track it.
You can see the numbers.
You know exactly what happened when you put out that email. You can see how many people clicked on it, and you can see how many people bought from that specific email and that specific message. Yeah.
So it's a bit of a different approach, and it's a necessary approach. And it doesn't matter how big you are, because even companies that are huge, like Walmart, are starting to realize that and do more direct marketing campaigns that they can actually track and they can actually see the numbers on, because they're actually more powerful, and it's obvious that whatever numbers you focus on will grow. Yeah. This is something that isn't new. So to be able to do that and be able to have a plan for doing that is a big deal.
Yeah.
All right. So, all of our guests that come on the show have to go through the lightning round. So I guess you're not an exception. your guest on the show, so she has to go through the lightning round. Don't you think? I think so. So we'll go through the lightning round, and we'll see how you do.
I know we were light on the emotion side of things.
Well, yeah, we got a little carried away in the marketing nerddom, because we love marketing.
I know.
We enjoy talking about it. We could talk.
I got out of it.
You got out of some of that. Okay, well, don't worry, we'll have you back.
Oh, goody.
Okay, so the lightning round, as usual, is we're going to ask you questions on your go-to emotions for different categories, and your limiting emotions on those same categories. So we'll start off with the simplest one. So what's your go-to emotion when things are going well in business?
Clarity.
Okay. And what's your limiting emotion when things are going poorly in business?
Self-doubt.
Okay. And what is your go-to emotion when things are going well in partnerships? Now you have your dance partnerships, we have our business partnerships, you have your collaboration partnerships with other companies that you collaborate with. So when things are going well, what's your go-to emotion?
The first thing that came to mind was respect and trust for one another.
Cool. And when things are going poorly, what's the limiting emotion?
Blame.
Okay. Awesome. And let's see, coaching. You do both. You have clients that you coach and you have mentors that coach you.
Yeah.
So let's go with when you are coaching others. What's your go-to emotion when things are going well?
Acceptance.
Okay. And what's your limiting emotion when things are going poorly when you're coaching?
Self-doubt.
Okay. And when you're being coached, because you have a number of mentors that work with you. So when you're being coached, what's your go-to emotion when things are going well?
Being coachable. I don't know, that's not really an emotion, but it's
like feeling like you're
feeling like I'm being coachable.
Okay. And when limiting emotion when things are going poorly?
Contradicting and finding all of the holes in what somebody is saying.
Okay. And let's see. I think I got all of them.
Usually,
I think
that's all.
I think that's all of them.
We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. I can't. I didn't pull up my notes on the screen, so we'll go with that being all of them. All right. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I think it's always important, as you guys hear me say often, that as entrepreneurs, we hear the experiences that other entrepreneurs are going through so that we know we're not on an island. You're not alone. You are on this journey, and there's a whole bunch of us out here and out there that are finding success, that aren't finding success, and we're all feeling the same. We're all feeling a very similar way, and so you don't need to go it alone, right? You can get connected to the different communities that are out there. Now, speaking of communities that are out there, you have a whole community that you've built, and that if one of these entrepreneurs is interested and wanting to get some guidance on their big picture marketing, tell us a little bit more about how they can get connected to you.
So I have a Facebook group called Funnel After Party, and lots of fun things happening in there. It's a party, so you can find me on Facebook, and then you'll find the group from there. And I also have a podcast called Funnel After Party. You just type in Funnel After Party, Google or Apple Podcasts, you'll find it pretty quickly there. So those are the best ways to find me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Why Funnel After Party?
Funnel After Party. I mean, MJ came up with the name here. That's like props to MJ for coming up with the name based
off of what you wanted.
Yeah, based on what I wanted. He's a big idea guy, and so
love the ideas. Got lots of them.
Yep. And so we were just talking about how I wanted to build a community that was about fast tracking people's ClickFunnels journey. Yeah, there we go. And making the tech easier and getting them to their goals faster. And so then we were talking about, I don't know if you guys have heard of the One Funnel Away challenge, but you probably have. And we were talking about people coming out of that and helping them more. And so then the funnel after party was born. Coming from that, where people are in that one funnel away, and then it's like, okay, it's the after party to be able to kind of clear things up and get that big picture figured out. Because now people have learned how to build a funnel. They know funnel's important. They're trying to implement them into their business and into their business model. And now we have the after party to actually learn all of the other pieces that go around it. So that's where the funnel after party was born.
Cool.
And how it's born.
So if they want to work with you, they got to go find their way into your group. And there's an application. So go see if you can meet
if you
the
can get into the group.
If you get in, then you'll be well on your way to finding your way to marketing choreography. So any other things that you'd like to sort of say to these entrepreneurs out there that are finding their way through their maybe they don't know it's a marketing journey, but it is. So what would you tell them?
Bam, become a marketer.
Bam, become a marketer. I love it.
Learn how to do it. I mean, there's lots of people to hire out there, and someday that might be the right path, and maybe you're at that point where you have learned it and you're ready to hire out. But if you don't know what you're doing, don't hire out yet. Learn it, understand it, find someone that can help you, and find someone that can coach you through the journey and help you with your mindset, help you with your marketing. But become a marketer. It's important for any business. Any business owner should learn how to be a marketer.
Doesn't mean you have to keep it up forever.
No.
It might not be your love.
It might not be.
Marketing nerds like us.
No.
Right. But you need to understand it well enough, and
that when you are hiring somebody, it makes sense, and you know that they're the right person.
Yeah. Well, and the cool part about the map that you teach is that it will teach them the things that they need to know about all the pieces so that they can get that done. Yeah,
so people can learn. I'm not going to do it for somebody. I want to teach someone how to do it.
Right.
That's really important to what I'm doing, and I think our vision for this.
Yeah, for sure.
We want people to learn it and go on their journey. So.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with
it's been fun.
The lifers out there.
Yeah.
And hope you guys are all doing well. If you need, or if you know somebody that needs to hear this message, don't forget, share it with them, #Magic4Life, and like and subscribe. If you have questions about the marketing choreography, then please put them in the comments and give us a rating on iTunes if you happen to be over there. They like to know that we're delivering you guys great content. And of course, go check out the Funnel After Party on Facebook. Like she said, just type it in. You'll be able to find it super easy. And we'll make sure to put that link in the notes so that you can see it. And we will see you next time on Magic for Life.
Hey, Lifers, don't forget to get your free copy of the Every Minute book. You can find it at everyminutebook.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.